Hey everybody, welcome back. This is my second installment in the Desert Island Challenge. So what do I mean by that? If you didn't catch my first video on Desert Island Challenge, it's basically it's an exercise in using up all of your existing art supplies. You pick a date and you decide, okay, I'm not going to buy any more stuff and I'm going to do a lot of work, until you start using things up. Now, paper doesn't count. You can buy as much paper as you want, but if you have a great abundance of paper, you might as well include that too and buy only what's necessary. And you might ask yourself, why would I do something this crazy? Well, one, it's a good exploration in minimalism. When your colors start to run out and you have to get creative and figure out, okay, what colors, it basically, it's like a crash course in color theory. You learn a lot of good stuff real quick, like what works good together and what doesn't. And you might see some of that here. It saves you money. I had an insane amount of art supplies, you guys. Seriously, when it was all said and done, like I got 4 years worth of work on very minimal stuff. And it really stretches you creatively because you don't have to have all the most expensive supplies, And it's great. I mean, case in point, see this pencil? This is an orange watercolor Mongol. It says on it says Everhard Faber. I think it's Faber-Castell is what it is now, but I got this pencil from my mom. So I know this thing is like easily from the 60s. And I have used that sucker. And I mean, if you take really good care of your stuff, you're going to accumulate things. You really are. So especially erasers. Oh my God, you guys, don't overbuy on erasers. I think I still have erasers from high school. So anyway, moving forward. So I was studying some anatomy by Joe Madeira. Here we got his really, he makes a really thick Wolverine, Red Hulk. I've never really done too much Thor. I might have to lean into that a little bit. So unlike last time, I took him out of the little pages, the page protector things that I had, and I'm just showing you guys the individual sheets here. But here I Legend of Zelda manga. I went ahead and I did my layout with, again, the orange marker that you're probably going to get really sick of. But I was trying to use a lot of different colors, and it came out looking pretty weird, especially when I combined it with complementary colors, orange and purple for this dude right here. And then I got a whole bunch of other stuff. And I really like that horse. And this Spider-Man is Humberto Ramos, I think. But anyway, I don't know why my camera is getting blurry here, so I apologize for that. There we go. Dumb thing. It's probably because of my hands, right? Well, there we got Wolverine again. Joe Madeira Wolverine. Got another Wolverine. Peter Parker Spider-Man. All Might from My Hero Academia. I like throwing a lot of different things together and just seeing what's going to stick. I also changed it up a little bit. I'm filming in a different spot in my house, and just to see. So if the audio sounds a little different, that's probably why. Did some Rocket and Groot studies. This might not show up really good, but it's like a floating castle, with I love that floating land masses kind of theme. You might see a lot of that. Got some Latin, Vos esti saltare, you are the salt of the earth. And I don't speak Latin, but I got my hands on my buddy. I have a friend who's like super Catholic, and he had a Latin Vulgate. And I think Latin is just a beautiful language. It's very cool. So here we got Batgirl, or Batwoman. Is it Batgirl? Yeah, it's Batgirl. Of course, my fascination with H.R. Giger's Alien and some more Kingdom Hearts manga there. And here I got some originals, and I like throwing together different couples. Like I did that with some of the. Well, you'll see it, So I got Green Arrow and Black Canary kind of paired up here in a pose, and then there was another pose in some manga that I found, and just to try to, I don't know, it just creatively does some fun stuff. And my obsession with bugs and little puffy penguin type bird things, So good old. I think Leonardo from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And again, some of the stuff, it's not going to show up too good. Here was just some drawing with a pink pencil. Didn't turn out too good. It's not going to show up. But, and again, just playing around with anatomy, the Flash. More Jim Lee Batman. Just trying to get minimalist with Green Lantern over here. I think that's the only Blue Beetle picture I've ever done. And then I can't remember the gal in Aquaman, but I thought her suit with the hair, I thought it was really kind of cool. But anyway, moving right along. So I was playing around with a lot of manga there for a while, and this was Snow White out of the Kingdom Hearts manga, and I just thought it was a really pretty picture, really beautiful. Did a few more gals, in dresses, and just trying to explore just a real minimalist approach. Some of this is in pencil, and it's not going to show up really good, but just bear with me. Here, of course, we, got Catwoman, and I like this Supergirl because it's very stylized looking. And again, you can see my marker is I am just pushing it to the very edges of reality. Some Dragon Ball Z. What would a sketchbook be without some Dragon Ball Z, you guys? Come on. So, it's little fighting poses in the background. And Spider-Woman, that turned out really good. I think that's marker with some colored pencil accents. And I don't know if you can notice it from here, but again, I made her outline of her body in brown. Again, you don't have to just use black all the time. Experiment with that, you guys. Check it out, because it's really interesting how soft and how natural you can make that look. I want to apologize because my phone was being stupid. It was getting blurry. I don't know if it has to do with the light or whatever. Just I'm like I said, I'm mixing it up. But here we get Green Lantern, and I like my little Joker minion in there. So again, mashups are cool. Really good creative exercise. Here I got some more manga. Had to throw myself a nice cool T-Rex in there with a little possum playing dead right there. There was some really cool, I can't remember what manga this was from, but just the whole stretching of his body, the foreshortening, like that's his legs back there. I just thought that was super cool, man. It's very animation looking when you look at it, when you break it down. And again, just some more traditional Disney type stuff, and Betty Boop, Charlie Brown. But sketchbooks, you guys, are for experimentation. Again, I tried to avoid a lot of hard lines, especially with the Superman. I was just going basically for like a color test, trying to get the colors going. I don't know why I didn't finish his feet. Maybe in the original, his feet were all... It was just a streak of light or something. I don't know. Weird. I'm not that guy. I will finish the feet. So here I have like a weird little hippo dude in Buzz Lightyear outfit. Some crazy satyr. Just, going crazy on the page. Just having some fun. Yeah, I'm just going to pause it when it starts to blur, because that's just weird. But Jim Lee Batman again. I'm going to start covering some art books on my channel if you guys are interested in it. And it's not just, it's to appreciate the art in and of itself, but you might ask yourself, well, how do I use these as an artist? And I can show you how. So, love Bugs Bunny. Some good Teen Titans action going on here. Anyway, just mashing stuff up left and right, guys. Mickey is Iron Man. Iron Mouse. I think that was Batmite. DC, they had some kind of goofy characters too. Not to say that Marvel didn't, but just interesting. This is more some original work for me, just, you know, playing around with the markers themselves and playing around with color. Of course, my obsession with little chameleon type creatures. This guy's like a weird alien dude. I'd kind of envisioned him like using echolocation, you know, having sensor pits on his face, but it's like not really having any features that we could see. But it basically sees like a bat, like with sonar, using clicks and stuff. All right. More Batman. I don't know what the deal was here, but I think it was like Wuthering Heights or something. There's some pictures, some people that were like turn of the century clothes, you know. I was like, okay. And again, playing around with the complementary colors, you know, red and green, you know. Christmas Batman. No, not quite. Not quite, fellas. Oh, the late, great Vincent Price. If you guys don't know who Vincent Price is, he's a classic horror actor. He's actually very good. He's got a really ASMR type voice, too, when you listen to him speak. And here I got Red Sonja. Red Sonja is normally just wearing the chainmail bikini, you know, which to me is kind of unrealistic. I think I liked it as seeing her as a pirate, you know, at least she's got more clothes on. Not that I have a problem with that, but it just makes it, like I said, it makes it more realistic. I mean, come on, who's gonna go into combat and fight people in like a chainmail bikini? You know, yeah. Anyway, I digress. So here we got the lovely Storm, which I have a feeling we're going to be drawing more of her very soon. Magic, Nightcrawler. There was a series in the comics, like having him all armored up, and he was wearing he was using a sword and stuff. Just very cool mashup of that. And of course, I love flowers. These are primarily marker, just, you know, going crazy. I shouldn't say going crazy, but I think you guys know what I mean. Just unrestrained creativity. Love horses too. I saw this picture of this horse, and the really great thing is, I don't know if you can see it, but like in my initial layout, initial sketch, like my lines for where the hooves and stuff went, I changed it up. So yeah, so you basically alter it as you go. Make it more accurate. Because sometimes when you're laying stuff out, it's not correct. But if you want to like execute it really, really quickly, that's how you can get it done. This was a statue of Catwoman done by an artist named Bruce Timm. And kind of flattened that out. Here we get some more Jim Lee Batman. If you haven't checked out Jim Lee's stuff, you guys got to go check him out, okay? This is Latin down here that basically it's Luke 4:4. It basically says that a prophet is not welcome in his hometown. You know, and I think that's Batman's story right there. But see, again, I used, in laying out this picture, I used the orange, and it made a really cool effect, I thought. I think it looks really neat. Again, more Kingdom Hearts manga. Just some really, you guys, seriously, really great art in there. Some Jiminy Cricket and Captain Hook. And get some Ariel and Tinkerbell, and I love the Rocketeer. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Darth Maul up here getting intense. He's a pretty intense guy. More Jim Lee Batman, again, just playing because the ideal thing is like just trying to finding the blacks, finding the darks, and just blocking those in so that you can train your eye to look at the black versus the white in terms of like light source and shadow. It's really, really great exercise. And of course, we got to have Catwoman in her latex bodysuit. I've already shared my opinions about that. And this is pretty fantastic. This is one of the last surviving pieces of work that I did. I prepped. This is on watercolor paper. And I say last surviving is because I sold all the rest of them. But this is Wolverine. This is John Byrne, one of my heroes. And I think it's one of the most dynamic poses because that's his foot back there. And you guys can see it. He's coming right at you with the claws. I loved it. And I don't know why it didn't sell. Maybe I had this, maybe I wanted to keep it for myself. But I went in there and I basically, I used a lot of, I think it's on watercolor paper, but I think it was a combination of acrylic. Like I watered the acrylic paint down quite a bit, if not using actual watercolor itself. And then of course, I'm a mixed media guy, so I had to get in there with my inks and my markers and colored pencils and stuff. But I think it really pops. I think it's a real solid piece, and it's a lot of fun. Again, you guys, if you don't experiment, you're not going to know how to do things like this. But it's a lot of fun. There we go. There's a little bit of blurriness going on. Again, Batman and Robin, or maybe that's Nightwing. I want to be appropriate here. I want to use the proper terminology. But again, it's just it's using Jim Lee's work and throwing some weird color on it. In the background, I did with a marker that was one of my dyeing markers. Again, you can use that to block things in. And those markers get really faded. You can use them for clouds. Here's another one. It's really great. Batman's grabbing Catwoman here and saying, "Hey, stop!" And he's trying to break them up, obviously, because they're getting mouthy. Things are getting tense. He's like, "No, don't mess with Batman. Look at that face." He's like, "Come on, girl. What's your problem?" So then I got some more here from the Kingdom Hearts manga. I'm pretty sure, because Stitch is there. Again, this was years ago, so I'm not, forgive me. I don't know if I remember. Some Iron Fist, really cool. And this, when I was drawing this picture, I wanted to throw this in there, but he fights this Polynesian guy because he has these like crazy snake tattoos all over him, like Polynesian. And I put a little note saying, "Yep, this dude has no arms," and he's laying into Iron Fist, kicking his butt. So it's pretty interesting stuff. And I got this dude in the foreground. This was such a good shot where, he basically clocks him in the face and knocks out a tooth over here. And, I got my minion like fleeing the scene, but your sketchbook can be a lot of fun. And of course, this was an idea that I talked about with some friends because we all got together and we would draw. So I have this Green Lantern in the foreground, and I don't know if you know anything about the Green Lantern Corps, but yellow is the color of fear. And so I thought to myself, what would be more appropriate than having a xenomorph from the Alien movies as an agent of fear, like a ring bearer of that? Not that they have the cognitive capability, because they are very cunning, but I don't think, there's so much of a hive mind. Anyway, I don't want to get into the whole alien behaviorist type stuff behind it, but I just thought it was a cool creative exercise. And then, of course, over here I got My Hero Academia. Again, I blocked everything in using an orange highlighter, and then just coming in with, the really great thing about the markers too, you guys, is when the markers start to get worn out, it almost is like a colored pencil type effect. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Anyway, it's just something to consider, something to think about. More My Hero Academia. Again, great series. I enjoyed it. It's so cool. Because we have so many superhero things in Western culture, but leave it to the Japanese to actually come up with a school, because that's what it is it's all these kids in high school that are learning how to use their powers. And I just think, what a novel idea. I think it's really cool, And of course, they're coming up against villains like, I think, Onslaught? That his name? No, Overhaul. And drawing his face was a little on the tricky side because I don't think I got my volumes correct. I think that mask could have been a lot bigger. but it turned out looking good. I don't know. So, moving right along. Again, sometimes I don't feel like drawing. I just draw anyway, which is good because I'm forcing myself to do, angles of bodies and just studies of anatomy and figuring out, okay, what direction things are going. And I think I just grabbed a ballpoint pen and was just going do and just trying to, block these guys in. And it looks like I was in like a DC flavored, zone here when I was working on these. And I think I'm getting to the bottom of the stack, guys. Again, Kingdom Hearts manga, and there was another one, Tsubasa and Sioran. I don't know if those are names or the actual manga themselves, but I liked this girl. She was a villain, and I don't know if you notice what I've done, but I used a green highlighter to come in and kind of figure out where her eye, the perspective on her eyes, because sometimes I have an issue in lining up eyes, and again, it's helping train your own eye on figuring out how to do this. And it was just a lot of fun. And here I just blocked them in because, when you guys are drawing, you don't have to limit it to one piece of art, and I used to do that when I was in high school. I would make a themed drawing, and it was kind of weird, just some weird stuff, but it was all one enclosed thing, and it doesn't have to be. You can mix genres, obviously, manga and Superman, and just go to town. And these guys were like, I think, hitmen in one of the manga that these guys were all a part of. And again, just really dynamic movement. This kid, just there's some comedy going on in some of them, and expressions. Whatever you want to train yourself to do, you can do it. You guys, I think that's it. I think that's it for this installment, and I think this is the remainder of my my desert island arts, so to speak. So please stay tuned. I got a lot of great content coming up for you. A lot of interesting ideas. Please hit me up in the comments if there's things that you're looking for, or just things that you want to talk to me about. I'm here for you. But anyway, that was that. Again, if you guys want to try the Desert Island Challenge, and you have a ton of art stuff, man, I can't encourage you more to do it. It was so great, because then once you've exhausted all your supplies, you get to go out and buy new stuff, and you get to try new things. Like, I can't wait to use my brand new paint pens that I bought, and I'll share those with you guys fairly soon. Anyway, that's it. So signing off. You guys protect your mind. Have a great day. God bless. And if this is the kind of content you like, please like and subscribe. Tell your friends. All right. Take care. Bye.